I'm not. Yeah.
Are we here?
Yeah.
We're live, innit? Yannicka can talk, innit? I'm not saying nothing. Damn, as well
Welcome
together.
back to another episode of Friend or Foe, and my name is Yannicka, and I'm joined by the two quarter-finalists, Kojo and Manny.
Yo, hi, bye.
Wow.
So what we're going to talk
Apologize, Yannicka, you were talking. Anyway, this is Yannicka's show today, so I'm just in the background chilling.
So let's talk FA Cup, considering that's happened this weekend. Obviously, Man City played yesterday. I think the first game was actually Southampton-Bournemouth. Did anyone watch that? Because I didn't watch that game.
No, I saw the goals.
No.
Very easy goals, to be honest, for Southampton. They walked through that game, no problem. So, and from what I've heard from a Bournemouth fan, it was one of those no contests. So Southampton came in, did their thing, and walked out. That's it. Yeah. So they deserve to be where they are.
Yeah. So they're through to the semi-final. They got Ryan in the comments. But yeah, I think obviously the next game was Everton.
Ryan hollered at me earlier. I ain't gonna lie, I aired it. I'm not replying to him. Man was like, "You good, bro?" Man saw. I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, nope, not today." But yeah, man, do your thing, Yannicka.
Yeah, so obviously the next game was Everton, Man City. I thought City didn't play too well, to be honest. The first half was pretty end to end. City didn't look great.
City didn't play too well.
My bad.
It's all right. Yeah, it wasn't the best game from us, but the second half we brought on De Bruyne. I have to big up Laporte though. Laporte had a really, really good game, and he was the reason why we scored the first goal, because he took a shot, it hit the post, and then came back down for Gundogan. So yeah, I thought it was a decent performance from City overall. But yeah, we did need to bring on De Bruyne to kind of make it happen.
Oh wow, you lot won.
Yeah, we won 2-0.
Oh, these times I don't even watch football anymore. You know.
What are you watching? Bowls.
No. I've actually taken up a thing and you know, a little bit of like, I don't know, netball thing. You get me? So,
netball.
Yeah, netball's kind of nice still. I like the way they play it. You get me? Like, it's like basketball, but about the movement and things. So yeah. But rugby's nice as well, isn't it? Like whole City. Have you man watched whole City play rugby? Yeah, the rugby team. Have you seen them play?
Oh, whole KC. Yeah.
Oh, they play some decent. There's some decent rugby. What do they call it in rugby? Some decent rugby, innit? They play some good tacticians. The tactics are on point and thing. You get me? That's my team anyway. You get me? Big up whole City rugby. Don't know. Like
Yannicka's listening to you and she's like, "You're just talking out your ass, man. What are you talking about?"
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
It's all right, but there's another game before we get to yours. So Chelsea against Sheffield United. I did catch part of this game. Me personally, like, I don't know, like, how Sheffield United, they kind of did everything right apart from in the final third. I think they did have 2 shots on target quite early on when Chelsea had none. But yeah, I think it was an own goal, I think, the first goal. But yeah, I don't think Chelsea played that well either. I think like City didn't play that well. But I think they're just better than Sheffield United. I think if they came up against the harder team, Chelsea would have been at risk of going out today. But I think Sheffield just weren't good enough. And basically, Chelsea, it was quite an easy win for them in the end. But yeah, I think...
Someone said, "Can we check Fred's passport?" Oh,
that guy is not Brazilian, bro. I'm telling you, he cannot be Brazilian.
Oh,
Jerry wants you to show your face, Kojo.
Jerry, I refuse.
Ryan says, "So nice when Liverpool don't play stress-free." Wish it was like this all the time.
Do you know what I was saying earlier though on the stream? I was saying that sometimes like going out in an earlier stage means it can actually, if you're not going to win it, it kind of works out better because when you go out in these sorts of stages, you get bantered a bit. But if you go out in an earlier stage, no one cares. Like no one's trolling Liverpool. You know, right now.
So what you're saying basically is that we should have gone out in the third round, so this would be easier for us to swallow.
Yeah.
No, it would have been even. Do you know what? Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know what's worse. Like this exit, actually, no, the Champions League exit is even worse. But like,
do you know what though? The Champions League's a bit different because the Champions League, you're kind of measured on how far you go. That's kind of how it's measured. So it's like, oh, they got to a semi, so they're better than someone that went out.
no, but like we had one job. We had one job.
Yeah, but other cups, like I think, like the way Man City are now, like we're in 4 competitions, but we haven't won any of them. So normally, if you're gonna do like a domestic treble, you've already won the Carabao Cup. Then you sort of know you're gonna win the league. So it's kind of like 2 are done and 1 or 2 to play for. But this season, like nothing has been won yet. So Man City could potentially win absolutely fuck all. I don't think it's going to happen because I think.
Oh, stop it.
But potentially that could happen.
There's no potential there, yeah.
It's going to be a lot worse if Man City don't win stuff now than if we went out in earlier rounds. Trust me, it'll feel worse.
Yeah, but
It'll
the thing is,
it feels great if you win it, but
you lot have won it though. Have you not seen the draw? What you think? You think what? So Leicester, Southampton. To be honest, any one of them can win it. And then Man City, Chelsea, you man are going to walk over Chelsea like it's nothing. And then you're going to get to the final.
Yeah,
you're going to play against Southampton and rip them a new one. What do you mean?
I'm not going to lie to you. I'm
not
too sure
win
about
the final if we get there, but it's getting past Chelsea that's going to be difficult.
Yeah, it's the Chelsea
light work, mate. Light work. Like, big up to Tuchel and what he's doing over there. Man's doing his thing, yeah. But you see Pep here.
Cups are good though, you know. Chelsea are not winning cups. Well,
you see. Yeah. I'm even upset, you know. Obviously, man's on Netflix watching this Snowpiercer thing as well. Have you man know about Snowpiercer?
No,
watch it on Netflix. But to understand it, watch the film first, though. You might have to download a bug link. Yeah, Snowpiercer, sit. A man just got off Snowpiercer to come on here, but and talk about dead United. I don't even know.
Yeah, so talking of Man United, we'll move on to Leicester.
I don't even know who played. Oh yeah, Leicester.
Okay, Man United. So obviously, I thought you'd win this game. I thought it'd be a 2-1.
Nah.
I thought Kelechi would score because he's my guy. And then I thought it would be a 2-1 to Man United, but it didn't quite go that way.
I'm happy for Kelechi though, just being that I am Nigerian, and I believe he shouldn't have left City. I think they sold him because he wasn't maybe a big name. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
I feel that's why they sold him, because if you see his when he was at City, his performances were great. And I remember at a point, it was literally who's the kid of Manchester between him and Rashford.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, man just got sold.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, when he was at City, I loved Kelechi. And basically, when Pep came in, because before Pep came in under Pellegrini, Pellegrini put a lot of pressure on him. Like, he was our best player in, like, 15, 16, I think it was, before Pep came. He was like our best player. I think 2015 he was our best player. And I remember like one, I think it was FA Cup game against Chelsea, and Pellegrini played like a load of kids and Kelechi, and like honestly, he was the only player that was like any good, you know, because we did have some senior players, but it was like I think it was like Demichelis or someone like that at the back. It wasn't a great
team.
Oh
my days.
I remember Demichelis.
Defenders.
We got beat 5-1, and I just remember like I really liked Kelechi, and then when Pep came, I thought maybe he'll keep him, you know, because he's a youth player as well. It's always good to keep youth players and stuff like that. But I think what it was, because my dad actually saw Kelechi not long before he left, and my dad said to me, "You staying?" And he said, "Yeah." So he definitely wanted to stay. But I think what happened is when Leicester came in with the offer that they did, I think Man City thought if we get 30 million for him, we'll sell him. And they got like 27 million.
Wait, who's that horrible club? Is he talking about Manchester United? Is he talking about this badge? Man can't even hold the badge up. We're out of the FA Cup ourselves. Anyways, yeah, carry on.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
But yeah,
man.
I think that's what it was. So I don't think he definitely didn't want to leave, which means that he will have a point to prove if we do get to the final.
Yeah, but I just feel.
He's a different player, man. He's a different
Yeah, I
player.
just feel like it will be a Leicester. If it's a Leicester City final, then I believe Leicester can do one on you guys. And the reason why I do that is because I don't think no one like Leicester. You just don't expect their football. I don't know what Brendan Rodgers. Yeah, he's literally an underrated manager, and I don't even care that he's gone Liverpool at this point. Yeah, I'd even take him. I can't even lie.
Want to take the job at United? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even lie, bruv.
You know what's about him though is, I mean, to be fair to him, he's managed Swansea, Liverpool, and Leicester. Swansea was terrific. To be fair to him, Liverpool. At the end of the day, I think he did do a good job there. It's just, the crumble towards the end of the season is what he'll be known for. Even though there are a lot of factors towards that. But when it comes to Leicester, I think what he's done really well there is, yes, last season they didn't have a collapse and they didn't make it through and all that, but they had a lot of injuries that time as well. This season they had a lot of injuries, but he bought well. So he bought through Castagna, and of course at some point he got injured, but then James Justin done his thing. He was lucky enough that when Justin got injured, players were slowly coming back. He's managed the team better this year. He did have a decent one in the Europa League, and now he's in the squad and says, all right, cool, I know who in which position and what time. When you compare it to what Ole's doing, he takes time with substitutions. He doesn't rotate the squad enough, and that's one thing that Rodgers has done well this year. So I hear you on that. That's the point I'm trying to make. I actually hear you on that because you want someone that's going to manage your squad properly. You know what I mean? City have a lot of good players, but once in a while you see Kevin De Bruyne hit the bench because he doesn't need to start every game. Sometimes it's good to let a top boy rest. And then
but it's not even like with the management of the squad. That management of the squad really like pissed me off. And I don't know if you, man. Obviously, I read his comments. I didn't hear it. Obviously, my phone was going off and people were saying, "Oh, you heard what Oli said and thing."
What did he say?
So basically, they asked. He was talking about the players. This obviously, I don't know how he said it, but basically, in the sense what he was trying to say is that they've asked him a question, and he's basically saying, "Oh yeah, we have injuries and stuff, and the reason maybe why some people didn't play as well or whatever is because they haven't got minutes in their leg or they're tired because they played too much." But I'm like, you're the manager. You've bought all these players, but then you're not rotating. You're playing the same players over and over and over again. And now you want to use that as an excuse for getting knocked out of the FA Cup. Whereas these times we're just being shit altogether. And that's my thing with like with Rodgers. Like you were saying, like obviously he's bought well and stuff, yeah. But who really has he bought that wasn't there last season that's made a mad impact? The only person I could think about is Fofana. And that's about it. Other than that, all the other guys that are doing their thing. Tielemans was there; they just made it a permanent contract. Do you know what I mean? So, who really is there that's come in? I think they have their right back is a left back because Pereira's been injured.
Castagna, yeah.
Yeah, but then even though he's been great there, but other than that, really like the core of their team has been the same core, okay, more or less, because Chowdhury was there and Ndidi got injured. But they still had the Chowdhury. They still had what's the other guy? Is it Pret? Is it Pret? I don't even know.
Dennis Pret, yeah.
Dennis Pret, yeah. They had him. So they've had all these men before. Do you get what I mean?
That's what I'm saying though. Like where the places where he's bought were when they were having the issues, because this is not the first time Ricardo Pereira's had injury issues. So you have to buy a fullback and make sure you buy properly. So like I praised Liverpool when they bought Simakis from the Greek one to be like a backup to Robertson, but Robertson hasn't rested this season at all, so it still made no difference. You know what I mean? Whereas
love you, Leicester, we do.
We love you, Leicester. You are the most.
Oh, you got so mad, I can't even remove it. Oh yeah, I can. Man, come in here with mad energy like that. How dare you?
I need Sergio Ramos to do Salah's shoulder again, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh my days. Oh my
Bro,
days.
Mike,
This
is that what
guy's
you
wearing a
think?
Leicester shirt. I have heard
Bro,
it.
he's the most flip-flop Liverpool fan I've ever seen in my life.
Nah, I'm always
Actually,
here,
no.
man.
He's not. There's someone that's still missing from the Footy Says team
Oh,
that's still at the shirt.
Harold?
Yeah.
Harold is gone, bruv. Harold is gone.
To be fair,
Yeah,
Kojo, he came in wearing that last time when Liverpool lost to Leicester. He's
Oh
still
yeah, man was bigging up NDB and that.
Shambles. What a shambles.
Now, but continue your conversation. I don't wanna dampen the mood. I know United has already done that.
Wow.
To be fair, yeah, do you know what even makes it happy? Yeah, the fact that you've walked in, yeah. I'm just so happy that we knocked you out first. And to get knocked out is cool, but the fact that we knocked you out, yeah, I'm happy now. I'm good. I'm feeling all right. There's
Do
nothing.
you know what
There's
makes
nothing
you even
to
happy?
say.
Do you know what makes me happy, Manny?
Oh, here we go.
Ollie's new 9 million contract. Have we talked
He
about
ain't
that?
getting it. I'm telling you, listen, he ain't getting it. And that, you know what, yeah, Yannicka, that brings me to your. You remember you asked, like, you said we're always going to win this game. No, I think we would have won it if we had lost to AC Milan. But I knew if we beat AC Milan, we're definitely going to lose this game. I just knew it was going to be one or the other. For me personally, I knew it was going to be one or the other. But
to be honest, I thought with the route that you had, like obviously if you'd have won that game, because obviously the players would have known at half time what the next draw was, because they did it at half time. So I think they probably would have told them, like, oh, win the game, because you did have the easier route to the final if you beat Leicester in it. So I think
not for us though.
Final.
Nah, because you see, as much as we beat Southampton 9-0 last time, yeah, Southampton are, well, Wolves aren't anymore, but I think they're a bogey team. Like, when we played them, yeah, it's literally hearts in your mouth. That 9-0 was just an anomaly. It will not happen again. Do you know what I mean? It's because they got the red card so early. It's like what happened with you lot when you lot gave away the penalty so early. If you hadn't given away that penalty, it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah.
I mean, like, giving it away that early. If you had given it away in like 20-25 minutes, it would have been a different game to what we've seen.
That's what I was trying to explain to United fans on the thing, and they were going, no, we were just better than you that day, and I was like, yeah.
No, I don't even think we were better.
If we don't give away that penalty, I think United play for a 0-0 in that game. Do you know what I mean? I honestly do, and I think Man City would have taken a 0-0 as well in that game. Do you know what I mean? So.
Let me get through some of the comments. We've got RB saying Rodgers is a top manager. I'll take him easily. He's had injuries and he's still doing bits in the top four as well. Yep, I agree. Even when people blame Rodgers for not winning the Premier League, Rodgers couldn't stop man like Gerrard from slipping over bananas. You get me? That's not his fault. Gerrard had his laces undone. That's his fault.
To be fair, Gerrard did meh, but you can't win the league conceding 50 goals a season.
No, but the fact here that you got into that position.
Of course, big up Rodgers.
Exactly.
Big up Rodgers. He's a top class manager, but I don't know if that's.
And I do think you
think
you can win the league, yes, conceding a lot of goals. I just think
you can win a lot of goals, but you can't concede 50. 50 for me is a bit too much.
No. I think if you concede goals, yeah, all you have to do is freaking score more goals, which is what you basically did. How many Man United? Okay, maybe Man United. We don't concede 50 goals here, but how many times have we like gone into games and we just concede bare goals, but then we end up winning by 1 goal?
You mean in the Fergie days?
Yeah,
it did happen, but like I still think that 50 goals is excessive. Like I remember that season, there was a run where we were winning like 13, 14 games in a row, but we only kept 1 clean sheet. Like if you're always going into a game thinking that we need to outscore the opponents, sooner rather than later, it's gonna fuck up. And it's unfortunate that the fuck up came when Gerrard slipped. So, but yeah, Rodgers is a good coach. I don't think that's what United should get. I think United should get Pochettino still, but
yeah, no, I don't. Not in terms of like that's who we should get, but I think for me personally, I'm saying I wouldn't mind taking him. I don't think Kojo would take him, but over what we have at the moment, I would take him, mate. I don't even care that he's been Liverpool.
Brother, we have someone at what was a broken down wheel from the day he first joined anyway. So to be honest, I'll even take Randy Orton at this point, bro. Anyone but him.
Oh, Conrad saying Fred goes on holiday. I'll, when
But
Fred goes on
wait,
holiday, I would be like, please, I would rip his passport. Oh, yeah, he had a shit.
Manny, Kojo, like I know
Yeah.
United played crap today, but I think we have bigger issues on our hands. Manchester City cannot win the quadruple. Like
But
it
we were
cannot
talking
happen.
about it.
It
If they
cannot
do it,
happen. It can't happen. I spoke to my brother about it today. I'm like, Man City cannot win this quadruple. They need to
Bro.
be
Who
stopped.
did they get in the Champions League?
Dortment.
Yeah, they'll
They'll
beat
go
Dortmund.
through.
They'll beat
They'll
Dortmund.
go through.
I think they'll beat Dortmund. The semi-final, they have the hardest option of the semi-finals out of every team because they either plays Bayern or PSG. So that'll be a hard game.
If they get PSG, they'll win. If they get Bayern, I'm not too sure.
I actually
Because-
disagree.
I feel the
think
way
I
around.
disagree. Yeah, same. I'm the other way around. I think City can beat Bayern, but lose to
Nah,
PSG.
the thing with Bayern, as much as they have the way they play is good, yeah, they have very industrial players in there. They have players that will pull out an 11 out of 10 when they need to. Whereas PSG, they don't really have that. What they have is Mbappe and freaking Neymar.
Do you know what someone said though, which was a good point? They actually said that it's harder to kind of plan like against a team that are kind of individual brilliance. And I know people don't like that phrase, but like they have like an Mbappe, like or a Neymar, like it's harder to kind of plan how we're gonna shut them throughout the game. Whereas Bayern Munich have more of a like set game plan that we can kind of prepare for, if you know what I mean. But that being said, I think both of them are going to be difficult, to be honest.
Let me just say, yeah, if they do win the quadruple, yeah, I'm going on holiday.
I'm gone.
When I say holiday,
I'm gone.
bro,
Do
I
not
say,
call me for
Manny
any
Good
podcast,
Vibes
bro.
is not available for 8 weeks. Probably for I don't know. Like,
Friends and foe will turn into Jan and foe.
Abdi in the comments going, City can't beat Ollie. How are they beating PSG or Bayern Munich? We've beaten PSG and knocked them out before. And we've beaten Bayern Munich in 50% of the games that we played against them. So I'm not saying that we are going to beat them, but I'm just saying that Man United thing doesn't really play. It's a Manchester derby. If we lived in the middle of France or if we lived in Paris, we're probably less likely to beat PSG because it would be a derby. Do you know what I mean? It's people saying, oh, Man City can't beat United. Yeah, we can beat United because we beat you already this season and knocked you out of cup.
Okay, why are you coming very aggressive for?
That was bare loud.
Why are you coming very aggressive for? What's the problem?
That was bare loud.
How would we beat PSG or Bayern when we didn't beat Man United? We've won 32 out of the last 33 games.
Yannicka comes very aggressive, yeah, and she starts bringing out facts when you come for her.
23, sorry.
Yeah. Her coming out with bare facts.
22 out of the 23 games that we've last played, we're unbeaten for, or something like that.
Well, I don't know how you know all these stats. I'm just going to agree with you and say, yeah, right now, yeah.
Yeah, we were unbeaten in 21 games, and we played Man United and lost, and then we've won 2 games since. So that's like.
I was going to say you look nice, but I'm never going to say that no more, bro. They're coming with that, bruv, bare loud, you know. Bruv, Coulter, you're right. She's just moving bare loud, didn't it?
Yeah, do you know what it is? It annoys me when people start saying things like, "Oh, you didn't beat this team." What? Because you didn't beat Sheffield United. Like,
wait, why?
Kojo, Manny, Kojo, you're a bit too silent for my life.
Don't call my name, bruv. Don't call my name.
Yo, you can't leave me here on my ones, because right now, I don't even know what to do. But you know what,
Listen, she's talking truth though. When people do that whole, oh, you also this team, so how can you beat this team? Yeah. Man United in their best of days went to Southend and Freddie Eastwood banged the 25-yard free hit past us and we lost. We still went on to collect accolades. It happens, bro.
Exactly.
It's
I think it's like PSG have not beaten everyone in their league, and Bayern Munich got beat by Mönchengladbach, who we just beat 2-0 in both legs.
There
you know,
go.
Bayern Munich. Sorry. I think it was a draw in the end.
No, they lost to Gladbach 3-2.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing. It's one of them things where just because you lose to a team doesn't mean you can't beat another team in a different competition. I don't actually think Man City are winning the Champions League. I don't. I think we'll go out. But this whole we can't beat Bayern Munich, we can't beat PSG is a lie. We could beat them. You know. Whether we will or not is a different thing. But are we capable of beating them? Yes, we are.
However, though, like beating Bayern Munich and PSG is all well and good, but City need to get past Dortmund first of all, because they are the favourites. They are the favourites, but this is the same City that lost to Monaco, that lost to Lyon, that lost to Spurs.
But you know what?
That's the thing. The thing is with City, right? Is we lost to Lyon, but we beat Real Madrid. That's typical City. Like the harder the draw, the more confident I would be, because against the good side, Man City have to go out there and win. Whereas against, I think even Dortmund, we will think the Dortmund game, because they'll think, oh God, Haaland. I think if we stop Haaland and we defend well, then we have a chance, because they concede a hell of a lot of goals. They went through 5-4 against Sevilla, so they conceded 4 goals. So if Man City can be
you know what it is for me,
and keep tight at the back, I think we've got a chance. I'm not saying we're going to go and beat Dortmund, because it's not an easy game. But this whole Man City can't beat this team because they didn't beat this team. You can say that for every single team in the world, you know. So we might get knocked out by Dortmund, but we're not going out in the group stage, innit? So at least
Manny, Kojo, why are you allowing this?
What do you want to say? What do you want me to say? Stop saying my name. What do you want me to say?
Bro, just move shameless like I do, man. Like, bring up 99 or something.
You know, I don't do shameless, bro. When I rip it to my team, it comes with full vim, bro. You know I can't do that.
You know what? Yeah, I think this is going to be Abdi versus Yan City right now. Because
no, it's not. It's just people that's teams aren't in it need to stop chatting shit, innit?
However, though, I just
when are we going to win the Champions League again? That's what I want to know.
I know it's not about.
Do you know what? Yeah,
hold on. This isn't about City, but flipping Rayan just said to someone, but Koja is Ole in, isn't he? I will come to your yard and we will fight, bruv. Don't come and think I'm Ole in.
Yo, Kojo.
I'll be.
You know what? Yeah, Kojo's got feeling though, isn't it?
Man City is going to win the Champions League. I've never said that. I don't think Man City will win the Champions League this season. I'm just saying, you can't tell me that Man City are not capable of beating PSG. They're not capable of beating Bayern Munich, because they are on their day. If Man City turn up and they play the way they play, Man City can beat them. Whether we will do that or not is the question. Do you know what I mean? But
in my opinion, I think 6 out of the 8 clubs are capable of winning it. The only 2 teams that I can't see winning it are Dortmund and Porto.
Now you said that, go watch Portugal win the competition.
But do you know what? Porto have a chance. I don't think they'll get past Chelsea. But I don't know. I wouldn't rule it out. I think Chelsea have got to be favourites in a way, based on their route to the final.
The reason why I don't think Chelsea are favourites is because I've watched, like, Chelsea stats wise, they look impressive, but when I actually watch them, I do think they can be got at. Yeah. I just think that teams have fluffed their lines in the final third when they've played them. And they played against Atletico, who I don't know what has happened in the past 8 weeks, but they've just been diabolical. Like, I do feel if they face Liverpool or Real Madrid in the semi-finals, I think those 2 teams can cause them problems.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it'll be Liverpool, Chelsea. I do. I think
in the final. Nah, I think
in
the
semis.
Yeah,
that's the route.
Yeah, I think the final will be an English team, either Chelsea or Liverpool, against
I'm not making the final.
What do you say, Kojo?
No. Liverpool. I don't know about the final, but one thing I will say is I think, you know what Jose did for us. Yeah.
Abdi, right? Abdi, can I just say? Right? One thing that is a fact, yeah, is Man United are not winning the FA Cup. That's a fact.
Wow.
That's also a fact. So you can talk about.
No, guys, peace out, yeah, man. Bless, love.
We're still in the hat to win it, innit? We're still in the hat to win it. So you're not, we are. So you can't talk about we're not winning this. Who won the FA Cup more recently, Man City or Man United? Let me know in the comments.
I need Chelsea to smack you one, you know. I can't lie.
Nah, I need Chelsea to flop, man. I hate this
Chelsea beat us, right? The thing is, even if Chelsea beat us and win a cup, it still ain't going to be Man United with lifting the trophy. It's going to be Chelsea. So what difference does it make?
At this point, I don't.
Alright,
care.
can we
I don't-
just change the
United not winning
subject?
United not winning anything with Ole Gunnar Kwasi in charge, bro. So that's as simple as it gets, bro. I ain't got time for that one. But
You know what? I think this is a perfect segue because we were talking on the group chat, and the thing is with Oli, I agree with you and Manny 90% of the time.
No. Stop. Don't even
Wait.
say it. Don't even say it.
I don't think.
even
I
say
don't.
it.
Wait. I don't think.
Don't even say it.
what you
I
gonna
don't
say? What
think
you gonna say?
No, I don't
you know
think
when
United.
he's about to say that if you mention the word that begins with P, I'm gonna switch.
Nah. I'm not gonna mention that word. What I will say is I don't think United are gonna win anything substantial under Oli, but I do think since Oli took over the job in December 2018
There
or
is no
2019,
progression. We're in the same place.
I think United have gotten
Nope.
better.
No, we have.
You know what?
I think you
Zlatan
have.
said it best. Zlatan said it best. Yes, I think the team is better.
You see, that's what I mean. The
But
team is better.
I won trophies.
But that just proves what I said. I don't think United are going to win anything with Oli, which is the old United team won trophies. But as a team, I think this United team is better.
On what basis?
I think you guys might hate me for this. What Oli said about the league and trophies, even though I think it's a daft,
I already hate you, bro.
even though I think that's a daft comment, I do see where he's coming from. I do think a team like United or any team that should always go and win trophies. FA Cup, Carabao Cup. If they change the Carabao Cup to Milk Cup, go and win that. However, I do think that if you want to look at a team's progression, the best thing to look at is the league because the league is consistency. And for the first time since God knows how long, United are going to be in the top 3 2 seasons in a row. Yes, that's just not what United should be aiming for, but it's been a long time since that has happened at United. And I think that for me is progression. It's not good. It's not amazing. It's not where United should be, but it's definitely better than 6th, 2nd. And it looked like Jose was going to take you back to 6th.
Can I just tell you something, yeah?
Before you start, can I just say to Abdi, right?
Abdi,
the Premier League. You're acting like that is a diss. It's not a diss to win the Premier League. It is not. Like, okay, yeah, Man City can and probably should win more than one trophy, but if I had to choose a trophy at the start of the season, I'd pick the Prem. So that's all I'm saying.
Because you know you're not winning the Champions League. Anyway, RB says Jose and LVG won trophies with worse squads, and that's literally what it is. Like, listen, don't get me wrong. Yeah? After Jose, we needed a we've always needed a rebuild, a restructure in it. But I think the most immediate and pressing thing is we needed to sort out certain things in the dressing room, which we did. We brought in a few players which we could say, okay, this is the building blocks kind of thing, innit? But the thing is, with Oli, there is no building block. Oli's the only manager that I know of in world football, or that I've seen in my time. Let me put that. I've seen in my time that people are still talking about he needs time. Like, how do you need time in your 3rd season? I don't understand.
I don't think Oli needs time. He definitely doesn't need time. I think what we're seeing now, we're going to see next season. But I think Oli has bought himself time with the owners, 100%. Yeah,
but then as a Manchester United fan, yeah, and a Manchester United supporter, yeah, is it bad for me to say I want us to go on a losing streak so that Oli can get sacked?
That's very bad.
Very bad.
That's very bad.
No, the reason why I say that's why I said because it's not me specifically. There are people out there who want us to go on a losing streak just so that we can get him out and bring someone in that will be more competent. But then it's like, okay, you don't want your club to go on a losing streak, but you want us to win, be in the conversation. But the thing is, how long are you going to be in a conversation for? Like, for example, Arsenal were in the conversation for a really long time before they finally dropped out of the top 4 and they're struggling to get back in. With us, okay, we've been in and out, won this trophy, won that trophy. With Arsenal, it was like, what, FA Cup or nothing for like a whole minute?
But the difference between United and Arsenal is when Arsenal, I don't like using this example for them as an excuse, but it's factual. When the more stories that have come out, the more it's true. When they moved to the stadium, financially they put themselves at their own risk, innit? So it was made clear that every year they had this sort of big name. It was to keep the club afloat. So one way or another, they weren't going to achieve the things that they wanted to achieve deep down anyway as fans. When you look into the inside of the club and all that, cool. Whereas with United, they haven't struggled for that. Yes, the owners are crap, but they haven't struggled for that. Actually, United make tons of money every year, no matter what, and they have spent money on top players like Di Maria, like your Falcao, like your Daily Blins. They spent money on Lukaku. You brought in Ibrahimovic. You spent money on another Pogba, and you haven't got anything crazy to show for it. Yes, when Mourinho came in, won a League Cup and what's the other one? Europa League. When Van Gaal was there, we came away with an FA Cup. That's calm. I'm not angry at those things. But when you talk about progression is, look, you've won these accolades, but where's the next step? Because if you go to Champions League to be tourists, you're not making any progress there. You're not going to a competition to compete. You're going there to be around, but then you'll go down at some point. When it comes to the league, you're not levels. That's just as simple as it gets. You're the best of a bad bunch from 2nd to 20th. There's always a team that's above you. And then when it comes to the FA Cup and League Cup, again, semi-final losers. Simple as that. So, well, the reality is this. When we talk about progress, I sit there, I'm like, all right, you talk about progress. We finished 3rd last season. Whoop de flipping do. We finished 2nd, potentially, this season. Whoop de flipping do as well. When we go to the Champions League, what do we do with it? What accolades are they bringing with them? That's
and the
not
thing
progress.
is, that's why I don't think Oli should be given time. But the reason why I have to respect that is because, look, 2013, Sir Alex Ferguson leaves. You get David Moyes. You finish 7th. The next season, did you finish 4th, 14, 15? You finished 4th, 14, 15. But then in that Champions League season, like with what's it called, with Oli, you get knocked out in the group stages.
Yes.
But then you win the FA Cup, you come 5th. Cool. Jose Mourinho comes, you finish 6th. That's 2 seasons, 5th and 6th. United, that should never be happening with United. In 4 seasons, you're finishing 7th, 5th, and 6th. Top 4 once. So that's becoming a pattern. Then Jose Mourinho brings you back in. Well done. He did very well. Plus, he won 2 trophies in his first season. You're thinking, cool. In his 3rd season, what can this guy do? He gets knocked out by Sevilla, talking about football heritage. That's bad. Then it looks like he's about to drop down to 6th. Oli comes, he's 3rd place, and then now he looks like he's going to be 2nd place. I think in the league, that's good progress because in a 2-year span, that's the best 2-year span United have had. I don't think it's amazing, like I've said, but I do think it's progress from what we've seen in the past.
Yeah,
but I do think in that aspect that, yes, Oli should get praise. I don't think he should be there. If I was a United fan, I'd want him to get the hell out. But I do think in that aspect, he should get praise.
But you know why I can't use the word progress for him is because you're right. 3rd and 2nd in the domestic side of it is fantastic for a team that was finishing, like you said, 5th and 6th and 7th and all the positions there. But on the other side, it's the whole, he ain't the man to get you over the line. You've been to 4 semi-finals and you've taken L's. You've just gone to a quarter-final and you've lost. Now, we went out of the Europa League, so you could potentially get to the final there. But until that happens, and he adds an accolade to himself after the 2.5/3 years, if you want to go in 3 years, because 3 seasons now, at the team, unless he adds something to that to wear a medal around our necks, that to me is not progress. That's just Man United have just gone to they're still on the same line, except there's no accolades. How can you want to build this team, get into the top 4, not add a trophy to it? Come and tell us that trophies are just an ego boost. What ego boost is that?
Listen, he's getting sacked soon, you know.
He's getting sacked.
He's getting sacked soon.
He's not getting sacked either.
Listen.
Top four, and he'll get a contract. I guarantee it. If they sack him, that's like the club actually trying to show like they're very serious about doing something. That will surprise me. But the club ain't serious. He ain't getting sacked. He's going to stay here for another 3 years. I guarantee it.
Oh.
And I am not showing myself in camera. People still ask me that damn question.
So yeah, that's just why I pay on Oli. That's why I meant in the future. Like, yeah, in terms of trophies, like at the minute, Oli has to, like, it's a must. He has to finish 2nd and he has to win the Europa. There's absolutely no excuses for those not to happen, in my opinion.
Oh, it's just even the Europa, yeah. Do you know what is so mad, yeah? We will get to the final. Hold on one sec.
You right?
Now, but the thing is, if you get to the final, your potential opponents are Arsenal. And the thing is, if Oli loses to Arsenal, then again, and in a final, then that would be very concerning because, like, this Arsenal team is the worst Arsenal team I've seen since I've started watching football. They're 10th for a reason. They've lost 12 games in 29.
Mm-hmm.
They're not good. Like, they have decent players, but not amazing players to be beating Manchester United. And if you lose to him in a final, that will be Arteta's second trophy in his first job at Arsenal. And then he'll be in the Champions League while Oli is just doing nothing. And at the end of the day, if Arsenal go on to beat Man United in the Europa League final, you can basically say that Arteta's time is as good, if not better, than Oli. Because yes, he might not have made top 4 last year, but he won a trophy, which is what people want Oli to do. This year, he wouldn't have made top 4, but he made Champions League while winning a trophy. So for me, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one to judge.
Well, it's not tough. It's not tough for me. Get the hell out.
The thing is,
yeah, go on.
Before you head, you want Oli to leave, but people keep on asking, who should United get? That's a question I always hear. And for me, it's a question that pisses me off. But as a United fan, who would you want?
Well, this is the point. So this is where it becomes difficult. Because when I say that, also, I struggle to answer that question because I have very little faith in a lot of managers these days. The only manager that I like right now is the manager of Sporting Lisbon because he's taken a team that should not be competing with Benfica and Porto in the title race, and he's absolutely killing it. Now, I understand that the level of league is very different. I get it. But the thing for me is, when it comes to managers, if you show plan, if you show more than a plan A, if you show a willingness to adapt in games and you're smart tactically against your opponents and you adapt your tactics in every game, but not to weaken their strengths, but to make your team stronger in those games. And then also just sort of like, more than anything, the one thing I criticize Ole for is in-game management. This guy's in-game management is fantastic. His substitutions make sense. They're well thought of. You can see the players buy into it, and that's why they give performances for him in the league, and that's why they're top of the table. So that's why I would believe in him, because I was talking about Pochettino. I know Pochettino didn't win anything at Tottenham, but for what he had at Tottenham in terms of resources, money spent, what they did in terms of, he turned them from like, once they were like 1 year with, or what's his name, with running out Champions League, and then the other years Europa League with him and Villas-Boas. He made them Champions League regulars. He got them into 2 title races. They got to a Champions League final. To people that might say, oh, but he didn't come away with anything. To me, that says we've been dissing Tottenham for years because they weren't a good team, and then when they became a good team, they were nearly men. They were never going to get to the spot. They had a bottle thing about them. But at least he got them to a level where we could look at them and acknowledge them as a danger. That's a big thing. He found gems. You know what I'm saying? Dele Alli came for 5 million. Alderweireld joined him on loan at Southampton. When he moved to Tottenham, he bought Alderweireld with him for £12 million. Like, it's the smart transfers on top of being a good manager. So, that's the only one I can think of because, yeah, you're right. Who would you bring in? That's the only man I can think of. The Sporting Lisbon man, I forgot his name, so I'm not going to butcher his name now. But he's the only one I can think of because I've seen in the last 3 years at Lisbon, there's been a progression and he's been the head of it one way or another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's him. But other than that, I'm not a fan of Nagelsmann because I don't see what's special about him yet. Hasenhüttl was a decent manager for me, but I don't see what's so special about him. Brendan Rodgers is doing well at Leicester, but again, I don't see anything that drives me towards him. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah. I can only think of one candidate. Would I be mad if it's someone like Hasenhüttl that comes in? No. I think I'll be able to accept Hasenhüttl coming in. I think I confirm that. But at the same time, I don't think I'll have the right faith in him to do anything special until I see it. If I see it, then I'm calm. Until then, I'm not gassed by someone who in the Bundesliga is just as open as everybody else, despite having one of the top 3 teams in the league. You don't have to be that open.
Before you head, because I know you have to head soon. Somebody mentioned the Ajax manager Ten Hag, and for me, that it's funny that they said that because before he burst onto the scene at Ajax, he was in the Bayern Munich youth team when Pep Guardiola was there, and Pep Guardiola spoke highly of him. And then he went to Ajax, and you saw the football they were playing. Like, it's been a while since I've seen an underdog team like that play football like that fiercely, since probably Jurgen Klopp's Dortmund. So I love that. But then ever since then, the next 2 seasons, he finished third in the Champions League group last year, finished third in the Champions League group this year, got knocked out of the Europa League last year. I forgot who it was again, but this year, then the quarterfinals. So I'm thinking like, yeah, he plays nice football, but then it's like what you said. Do you want him because he's playing nice football and you think he can translate that to a bigger team? Or like, why would anyone suggest him? That's just my question, not what I think. Just putting that out there, thinking aloud.
I hear that. And that's what I agree with. I think we're in the era right now where I think a lot of fans love all teams to play a certain style. They're addicted to it. So even though people hate like the days of your Bolton and all that, the Middlesbroughs and all that, at least they had their identity. You might not have liked their football, but at the time when they were doing well, don't forget, Middlesbrough got to a UEFA Cup final.
UEFA Cup final, 2 comebacks, and they won a League Cup as well.
Exactly. And Bolton didn't achieve anything, but they were a solid team in the league before, obviously, financially they crumbled and everything went to the thing. And when they changed their style, they lost their identity and they've never come back. So at least teams had their identity and you could identify Middlesbrough away from United. Whereas now, you got 2 styles, counter-attacking or possession play, and you can have like 10 teams do possession, the other 10 do counter-attack. No one is really different apart from those 2 sort of sets of styles of tactics.
Yeah,
teams copying 4-3-3. When Conte came and ripped Premier League with 3-5-2, as if 3-5-2 is a new thing from the gods, everyone in the Premier League started copying it. Like, it's weird, but the originators, the people that did their own thing, your Klopps, your Peps, the people that stuck to their identity, achieved. Ranieri at Leicester stuck to his identity, didn't he? And they won
4-4-2. Yeah,
4-4-2, direct football.
Even Conte, the Conte you're talking about, he had 3 at the back at Juventus. The original BBC, Bazzagli, Bonucci, and Chiellini. He went to Chelsea, 3 at the back, won the league there. Now he's gone to Inter, and he's about to win the first league since Jose Mourinho. So, like, I hear you. That's why I was putting the question out there, because I was thinking, like, when you leave, I'll stay on for a bit because I've seen Ryan talk about who I want as the next Liverpool manager. It's for me, like, all this manager stuff, it's a subject I'm slightly passionate about because I do feel that a lot of people view the topic in a wrong manner, in my personal opinion.
All right. Well, I'll leave you to that, bro, because I need to duck now.
Yeah. No worries. In a bit, Kojo. Like I said, guys, yes. I said I'll stay for a bit, answer a few questions that's on the stream. I'll answer the first one that I saw with Ryan. Let me put it up. He asked me, would I take Graham Potter as Liverpool manager when Klopp eventually leaves? He's the guy. Look, Klopp is leaving in 3 seasons, so we have to kind of predict what kind of state Liverpool will be in. At the minute, Liverpool's state, as everybody knows, is absolutely diabolical. We've just lost 6 home games in a row. That's the last time that happened, we got relegated. So next season, it's going to be an interesting season because as much as people say when Virgil and Joe Gomez are back, Liverpool will be back, it's hard to say because, look, Virgil van Dijk got an ACL injury. We don't know if he's going to be the same. Joe Gomez, nobody knows what happened to him, and he's injury prone. So we don't know if he's going to have another long-term injury. So is it going to be a case of they come back and we're the Liverpool between 2018 and last year and we challenge City again? Or is it going to be a case of where the next 2 seasons is a rebuild job and then Klopp's final season, he builds a good team? I think that has a huge factor on which manager I'd want. Me personally, I would have want Graham Potter. The only reason is because he does play good football, but I want him to go to another club, a club that's just above Brighton before coming to Liverpool, because I do feel coming to these big clubs is not easy. Everything that you do gets scrutinized, every single thing. And I don't think he'll be ready for that in 3 years. Let's say he goes to West Ham, because West Ham are a decent sized club. I was about to say Everton, but we can't have a potential Liverpool manager go to the Ops, or a Spurs, a club of that caliber. I'd want him to go to that, and when he goes to that, then yeah, I'll be like, okay, he can come to Liverpool. Who I'd want at Liverpool? I don't know. At the minute, there's no manager that out there that screams wow to me, because when Klopp leaves, I don't want what happened to United to happen to us. I don't want us to be at the top and then fall to where we are now and do that consistently. I want Klopp to leave, the next manager comes, and they're challenging City, because we've gone 30 years without winning the league. We can't just win one and not win another one again. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. In terms of Champions League, I saw a lot of comments. People, look, Champions League is one of the toughest competition to call. Like, no one knows what's gonna happen. Like, anything can happen. I said I see 6 teams winning it. You never know. Dortmund, Haaland, and Sancho might just go Super Saiyan mode and win the Champions League. Porto might just do what they did in 2004 and win the Champions League. So the thing is, you never know. What I think will happen, I think all these ties are very hard to call. But in terms of City and Dortmund, we have to remember City have not conceded a single goal in the Champions League. So defensive-wise, City are pattern. We might say our City have had an easy way to the Champions League. Porto are in City's group, and look at where Porto are now. So in the Champions League, you have to beat who's in front of you. So breaching that City defense will be hard. But Haaland, Sancho, those two players, bro, like, I don't need to talk too much about them. Haaland is in his third proper season, and he's already one of the best strikers in the world. Jadon Sancho, apart from Mbappe and Haaland, he's one of the best youngsters, one of the best under 21 players in the world. You can't mention many better than him. So that's going to be a tough game. Bayern PSG, I think that's a game that, my opinion, might be different to the norm. I think PSG will beat Bayern. The reason why I say that is that in a lot of games in which I watch Bayern play, they play a high line, like a ridiculously high line. And when you play that high line, teams who have done that, Barcelona under Pep, Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, Dortmund under Jurgen Klopp, Real Madrid under Zidane, you need defenders who can defend 1v1 situations. Bayern Munich have good defenders, reputation-wise. Boateng, he's past his best. Alaba is not a centre-back. I do feel if you get those two players on the halfway line, they could get done. Like Barcelona versus Bayern Munich. I know Barcelona got pumped 8-2, but if you watch that game again, in the first 20 minutes, Barcelona could have been 2-3-0 up. Lyon versus Bayern Munich, Lyon could have been 3-0 up. So I do think that there's a chance for PSG to do Bayern Munich, and I think they have the coach in Pochettino, Mbappe, Di Maria, Moise Kean, and Neymar. I think they can exploit that high line. One sec, let me add Yannicka back to the stream because I know people were begging for her. Yan, you there?
Hi, yeah, sorry, I'm just at work, so I just had to thingy. I can't see, I'm on my phone, innit? So
it's all good.
It's my laptop in a minute.
It's all good. Conrad was asking where you was. I was trying to keep these guys entertained, but it seems like they want Yannicka.
Where's everyone gone?
Kojo left, and then Manny had an emergency, so he just left.
Oh.
So I'm gonna give it another 5-10 minutes. If Manny doesn't come back, we'll call it a day. But Yannicka, you must be over the moon. Literally, you're going into the final international break of the season.
Yeah.
And you can win 4 trophies.
To be honest, like City always kind of try for all trophies every season, and then sometimes, like, you know, football is all about fine margins. It's all about who turns up on the day. So obviously you can go out of any competition at any time. And I think in previous seasons, we have gone out of the FA Cup. That seems to be the trophy that we kind of struggle to win as much as the others. Champions League is Champions League. It's always going to be difficult. So, yeah, I think it's nice to see that we're in this position we are. But like I said earlier, it can either go extremely well and we win 3 or 4 of the competitions that we're in, or it can go terribly wrong and we win none. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them. It's still, even though we're not too far away in any of the competitions that we're in, we could end up winning nothing or just winning 1 trophy. So Yeah, I'm happy where we are right now, but I need Man City to. The Carabao Cup is a one-off final, so I think that's going to be more on Jose against Pep than it is Spurs against Man City. I think it's going to be a tactical one. So we'll have to see what happens with that. Spurs need a trophy a lot more than we do in terms of, if we don't win the Carabao Cup for the 4th year in a row, I don't think people can really laugh at City too much. Whereas Spurs, they need to win a trophy. That is the only trophy that they can win this season. So
Legit.
I think for them, they really have to go for that. And for that reason, they might beat us. They might. The FA Cup, I think, is still, there's still a hard kind of route to the final. Chelsea are not easy. So if we get past Chelsea, I do think we'll go on and win it. Just simply because Chelsea would be the hardest team in that sort of free available teams to play. So, yeah, I would say that. Champions League, Dortmund, again, going to be hard. We're going to have to keep Haaland quiet, which is not going to be easy. If we do that and we get through to the semis, we've got the hardest route to the final. So we're going to have to play one of the potential winners, because I really thought PSG would win it before the season started. And a lot of people that disagreed with me thought it was going to be Bayern Munich. So whichever one of them we get is going to be difficult. And then I think, to be honest, if we beat PSG or Bayern Munich, I would think City should go on and really win the final, because the team that we're going to play, that we could potentially play in the final, shouldn't be as hard as the team that we've beaten to get there. So I think for that reason, City have a chance. But again, it's Champions League. There seems to be like a mental block with Man City. And, maybe if we get a PSG, they're in kind of the same boat. They've never won it. So maybe that won't matter too much in that game. But if we get to the final, like Liverpool aren't the best this season, but they know how to win in the Champions League. So, and
same with Real Madrid as well.
All of them players in Liverpool, apart from Jota, have won the Champions League before.
Exactly.
And apart from the 2 centre-backs that you've got. So literally, they've all won it before. So the mentality factor would come into play in that a little bit. And I think same with Chelsea. Like, Chelsea's players haven't won it, because obviously it's a different squad, but the club have. So I think it's going to be quite difficult regardless. But yeah, I think there's no team that I would look at and think City have absolutely 0% chance of beating. But it is going to be hard, do you know what I mean? And that's why it annoys me when opposition fans come in and say, oh, Man City are never going to beat them. But the thing is, no one told us we'd beat everyone. When we said we had, like, I think it was February, we had a very difficult month. And everyone was like, Man City won't beat any of them teams. And we beat every single one. And then again, when we were challenging for the league with you in 18-19, every week people were saying, Man City aren't going to beat Leicester. We beat them. Then it was, we're not going to beat Burnley. We beat Burnley. So Man City sort of, when the challenge is there, they do like rise into it. So I don't know. We'll have to see. I think there's 4 competitions is quite hard because it's so much to look at. You can't sort of focus on just one. So I think, I don't know. I'd like to, I think from where we are right now, I'd be disappointed if we didn't do at least a cup and the Prem, just because I think we're in such a good position. We're literally 2 matches away from a potential FA Cup, and we're 1 match away from a League Cup. So I would expect us to win either 2 or 1, in one of them competitions. And I'd expect us to wrap up the league. Champions League is the one that I don't think is realistic, if I'm being honest. Like, as much as we could potentially win it, I just don't see it happening. So yeah, I think we'll have to see. We're in a good position. And, Man City have done brilliantly to get where they are, especially with the start of the season that we had. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I just think the Champions League is the only one where you measure on how far you get. I don't think if anyone cares if you get to an FA Cup final if you lose. I don't think people care if you get to a Carabao Cup final if you lose. So, yeah, I think we need to be winning at least one of them 2 and the Prem, I'd say.
And I think also, like, people have seen City win the Champions. The FA Cup. People have seen City win the Carabao Cup. Nobody has seen City win the Champions League. So for me, the league is done and dusted. Like, you've won the league. If City win the league and the Champions League, I don't think anyone is gonna care about you losing to Chelsea. Can you hear me? Ryan is calling you out.
I can't hear you, you know.
Can you not? Ryan, people in the audience, let me know if you can hear me. No response, so I'm guessing people can't hear me. This is a bit peak.
Two seconds. Let me
no
try
worries, no worries.
my computer and then it can.
Perfect. Yeah, but as I was saying, like, to the people who are in here, like, Michael Richards said it on a Clubhouse room. For City to go to that next stage, because City they're building up, they're a big club at the minute. You can't deny what they've done since 2008. But for them to go to that super status, they have to win the Champions League. Because at the end of the day, the Champions League is a trophy that everybody respects. I'll give you an example. 2019, City won the domestic treble, but we won the Champions League. I traveled to Spain, Portugal, all them places in that summer wearing my Liverpool shirt. And everybody came up to me telling me that we were the best club in the world because we won the Champions League. But we didn't win the FA Cup, we didn't win the Carabao Cup, and we didn't win the league. So people only care about the league. Even with Real Madrid, people will say that Ronaldo is better than Messi because he won 3 Champions Leagues in a row. But within those 3 years, Messi won 2 league titles and Ronaldo won 1. So it's peak. What Clubhouse? It was a room he did with Jamie Carragher. But yeah, it's peak. But guys, I'm gonna end the broadcast. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Jan, I'll let you know in the group chat. Wagwan.